Okay, this is just a dead simple way of doing a quick colour correction in Photoshop. If you think your skin tones and such like aren't looking quite nice, or the colours don't look quite natural to you, maybe the image is a bit cold, maybe it's a bit too warm looking, and this is a simple thing you can do using a curves adjustment layer that'll hopefully solve that problem for you. It doesn't work all the time, but it's worth a go. It kind of relies on you having something in the image that's definitely black, something that's definitely white, and something that you can decide is grey. Okay, so first thing to do is to add a curves adjustment layer, and you'll notice that in that panel there's a dropper for black, a one for grey, and a one for white. It doesn't matter which order you do these in, so I'm just going to pick the white one. Then we move down to this slider here, and you can see what happens if we move that slider up. It turns things, well, brings the highlights more into the mid-tones and makes the image a lot brighter. But what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the Alt key on our keyboard. On the Mac that would be the Command key, and when we do that the image changes, and as you drag it up now it's highlighting pixels that Photoshop thinks are white. Okay, so you just start to drag it in until you start to see some details that you can maybe select with your dropper. Okay, so I've still got the Alt key held down, and what we're going to do is we're going to tell Photoshop what we think should be white. Now it's probably going to end up being one of these flowers, so I'm going to try and home in on one of those flower petals there. That's nice. Okay, so now it's thinking that those flower petals are white, and in reality we know that they are white. Okay, so that's good. So leave go of the Alt key now. Now we'll switch to black. Okay, same thing, but this time we're going to use the slider that's at the black end of our sort of histogram curve display adjustment layer panel. So we'll hold down Alt again, Command on your Mac, and that's changed the display to show us things that Photoshop says are black. And as we move that up, more and more and more and more and more of it starts to be displayed as thinking that it's black. So let's take it back down, back up just a smidge, and any one of those splodges that you can see there, you can click on that with your dropper now and say, well, that should be black. Now the blackest thing to me is either going to be down in this corner or down in this corner here. Okay, it's just off the bottom of the screen there, you can't really see because of the way I've put me I've positioned the camera, but trust me, I've put that to say that that's black. Okay, so far we've said what's white and what's black, and it's made that difference there. Already it's getting a little bit warmer, bringing the colours out a tad more. But what's really going to make a big difference is when we tell it what the middle point is, when we tell it what grey is. Now on the face of things I can't really see much in here that is grey. You could maybe say that these white petals that are in shadow are grey, but I know because when they're in the grass they're going to have a bit of reflected green light on them because of the light reflecting off the grass that's around them. But what maybe isn't going to be affected by reflected light is the colour of the whites of the eyes. So let's just zoom in on one of these eyes here. Now the greys here and here, they shouldn't really have much of a colour cast to them. There might be a tinge of red if it's affected by like bloodshot eyes or veins in the eyes, but generally speaking we should be okay to tell Photoshop that that should be grey. So when I click that, I can see over on the curves here that our reds and greens have moved up quite significantly. So let's just zoom out, and there's the full image again, and we can see what kind of effect that's had just by switching that on and off. It's definitely warmed the image up a bit. So this curves adjustment layer is currently affecting both the brightness and the colour, and really all we want to do is to affect the colour. So we can select this blend mode here for colour and then all it's going to do is change the colour and not the brightness. So now that we've changed that, the brightness isn't affected but the colours are, and that is the image colour corrected. Looks a bit warmer to me. I think the colours of the flowers and the green are punching out a bit more, so I think that worked quite well on this image. So there you go. This image was a recent photograph by my friend Kristy Ranson, and this video is especially for her. Okay, toodaloo.